Hi, I'm John Van Allen. The purpose of this podcast is to help you prepare for the audit by choosing whether you want to have a block sample or a statistical sample if those options are given to you by the auditor. If the auditor is going to engage in any type of sampling activity, our experience has shown that a block sample is far more favorable to a taxpayer than a statistical sample is. A block sample is the reviewing of a discrete block of transactions and then projecting any error rate that the auditor uncovers over the remaining transactions. So for example, an auditor may come in and audit February of year 2 of the audit period and then develop a margin for error and project it over the other 11 months. A statistical sample involves the creation of various strata based upon invoice amounts, sampling transactions within each strata, coming up with separate error rates, and then multiplying those over the remainder of the strata to come up with an assessment. A block sample has some advantages over a statistical sample that if you can push for, you're probably going to end up with a better audit and a better assessment than you would under a statistical sample. First is that a block sample is usually less comprehensive, and therefore the auditor doesn't review as many transactions, and therefore you're going to have lower tax liability as a result. Similarly, there's less work for a taxpayer to review by the auditor under a block sample than under a statistical sample. So it's a lot easier to manage. It's less time commitment involved. Third, there's greater flexibility with a block sample. If you have missing documents, missing invoices, you can work around those with a little more flexibility with the auditor's discretion if you've been cooperating sufficiently with them. See our other podcast on that, as a way of working around some of those issues, so you have the greater flexibility. And then finally, a block sample is more secure. A statistical sample starts getting into mathematical models, and as a result, it can be manipulated by the Commonwealth, either by accident or on purpose, a lot more easily than a block sample could be. So for that reason, if an auditor is going to come in and wants to sample something, push for a block sample rather than a statistical sample, because it's going to be easier to manage that audit, and hopefully you have a significantly less audit liability as a result. I'm John Van Allen. Good luck with your audit.